Hello everybody, it's Mystic and welcome to my library. If you are new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. It's been a really long time since I've done anything Sims 2 related on my channel. And with the re-release of The Sims 1 and The Sims 2, I wanted to do an updated guide on how to start the Legacy Challenge in The Sims 2. I already did one for the Extreme Start, so I'll make sure to link that below. And the Extreme Start is just basically a more difficult version of the Legacy Challenge that starts you off with a bigger lot and like no money. So if you want to watch that one, I will have that linked below. Nothing has really changed with that one, although there is some new terminology differences that I'll get into in a minute. But I did want to do a guide on how to start just your standard Legacy Challenge without the Extreme Start. So this is for somebody that doesn't necessarily want to have that more difficult option at the beginning, and this will help you get started with it. So first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go into the Create a Sim mode. You're going to want to go there. Okay, here we are in Create a Sim. So you are going to want to make a single adult sim. You don't want to have two, you can only have one. And you also really want to start with an adult so that they are able to have kids. Elders, if you wanted to start with a male elder, you could, but your time is going to be pretty limited. So we usually recommend that you start with an adult. Let's do that real quick. So basically you can make any sim you want. They don't have to look a specific way. They don't have to have a specific personality unless you have chosen a mini challenge to do that. You don't really have to choose any specific personality, but there are a few mini challenges that we have listed in the mini challenge section that do require specific personality. So just make sure to check those if you are using them, but those are optional. Also, with that in mind, I do want to talk a little bit about mini challenges. If you're wondering what those are and you're a longtime Legacy Challenge player, they are what we used to call handicaps. But we are no longer going to be using ableist language here, and we have since changed the name to Mini Challenge. Everything is the same, though we did take out a couple of the mini challenges that I felt were also a little bit ableist in their description, a couple that were fat phobic, and I was just not here for that. So they're gone, but for the most part, most of the mini challenges are still there. They are just going under a different name now so that we can be more inclusive to everybody. Make sure to check the mini challenges section if you do want to get some extra points at the end of your challenge. That is how you do it. You start them off at the very beginning of the game, and if you happen to meet those challenges before the challenge ends, you will get bonus points for them. So they're definitely worth looking into. I'll make sure to link them below. But again, they are completely optional. You do not have to do them if you don't want to. One other thing I want to mention is that custom content and mods are okay as long as they are not gameplay changing. So if you have mods that add makeup or clothing or furniture, those are typically okay. The only thing you want to avoid is things that are going to change your gameplay to either make it easier, and you really don't want to add those just because they will change your gameplay in the challenge and possibly make it easier. Okay, so I have my sim all I have her designed. I have to still do her personality. Now this is the part that's pretty cool, or pretty fun rather. If you have dice, like actual game dice, you want a 6-sided dice, the one that looks like a cube. You're going to roll it so that you can choose your character's aspiration. And the reason we do it random is so that we can just add a little bit more challenge to the game. If you don't have dice at your house, there are plenty of dice rolling apps that you can use. Back when we made this challenge, those weren't really a thing, but they do exist now, and I will be making sure to link them down below in case you need to use one if you don't have physical dice at home. Now, I have a dice here. I'm a big D&D player, so I have lots of dice at my disposal. These I just got for my birthday from my best friend, and they have bees on them. If you don't know, I love bees. I actually have a bee tattoo. And I'm going to use this one to roll my Sims Aspirations. So let's take a look at what I got. And for those of you that don't know, this is all listed on the rules. Again, this will all be linked. But, well, if you roll a 1, you will be choosing a wealth aspiration. 2 is knowledge, 3 is family, 4 is romance, 5 is popularity, and 6 is a pleasure seeker if you own the nightlife expansion. Now, everybody should have nightlife at this point. If you are playing the new Legacy release that just came out, then you should have nightlife. By the way, I should also mention it's probably a little confusing because the re-releases are called the Legacy Editions. We are not affiliated with those. The Legacy Challenge has been around since Sims 2 were first released. We're not affiliated with this new re-release at all. It's just what our challenge is called. So hopefully there's no confusion. This is just a separate challenge to add more difficulty or like different options of how to play your game. So let's roll. And I got a 1. So I will be choosing a wealth sim, which is that one. Now, as far as personality, you can choose any personality you want. I think there is a couple of mini challenges in the game that require you to have certain levels of like nice points. Maybe there's even one for neat points. I can't remember. But if you're not taking one of those mini challenges, you can choose whatever you want. If you are taking any mini challenges, just confirm that none of them have a requirement on these personality points. If you have no requirements, just go ahead and choose. I'm not taking any mini challenges that are requiring me to have a certain personality for my sim. So I'm going to go with Capricorn's a pretty good choice, actually. We could go with Capricorn. That seems like a good, honestly, Capricorn's a good choice just because she's also a wealth sim. So it makes sense. Capricorn's like earning money. So I think this works pretty well. And you can also get secondary aspirations, but I think you have to choose those once you start the game. So we'll do that once we get into the actual gameplay. But this is basically how you start with your sim. So we're going to accept sim. Oh, I'm sorry. Turn-ons and turn-offs. Completely forgot. These are optional. There is one mini challenge that requires your sims to have like the max affection for somebody before they can romance them, but I don't think that the types of turn-ons and turn-offs are really a big deal for what you choose. You can choose anything. Since she is a Capricorn and she's money focused, we're going to go with her liking hard workers who have a job level of 6 or over. And let's see. We can go with, what's this? Charismatic? I feel like that would be good. Or we can just go with something else, like glasses. Again, it doesn't really matter. We can go with glasses. And then I think we might, I tend to just go with stink because, who wants to have a stinky sim? All right, that is good. So she is all set. Let's move her into a lot because this is the next part of the challenge. You're going to be moving on to a 5x5 lot. So I have decided I'm starting my legacy in Desiderata Valley. This, I believe, is the one that came with the hobbies expansion. So I'm not actually sure if there is an empty 5x5 lot. Let's take a look. I'm trying to remember how to do this. Because you need to use an empty lot. You can't buy a house you can't buy a lot that has a house on it. You need an empty lot so that you can build your own house. So like none of these would work. I don't think that's 5x5. I think this is 5x5. So the great thing about The Sims 2 is that you can put empty lots down. So we're going to just do that because I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, that one is definitely not a 5x5. We just have to find a place for it now, which down here might be great. Yeah, that's perfect. Let's put it right there. And we will just call it the Legacy Homestead. Okay, so we got our lot. Yeah, so don't forget, just if you don't have a lot that's 5x5 in whatever neighborhood you move into, you can build them in this game. I don't think that's something you can do in The Sims 4, to be honest. So you can go in here and just choose 5x5. If you are starting with the extreme start, which I covered in my other video, you actually want to go with the huge lot, which is 5x6. But this one is our standard start. So we're just going to go with the 5x5. And we are going to move her in. Now, the difference between the core challenge, which is what we're doing, or the normal challenge, which is what we're doing, and the extreme challenge is that you're going to have a little bit more money to start with, and there's no like penalty for keeping the money. You can actually use it early on and go from there. So one thing I didn't do with this sim is I did not go through and make any mini challenges for her. I am planning on doing that because this is going to become a Let's Play series, but I'm probably going to do that after this video, like once my Let's Play actually starts, because I still need to look and see which mini challenges I want. Obviously, I won't be starting with extreme because this is not an extreme start, but I do plan on putting at least a couple mini challenges. I don't think I'm going to put all 10 points worth in, but you're technically supposed to do that before you make your sim, but for just the sake of showing you how to do this with just the standard start, I decided to skip that, and I will just start that next time. So we are on our lot. So yeah, if you're new to the game, you can use these help. These are new. I don't recall them ever being here, but it tells you like how to start the game. I've played this for years. I don't necessarily need this, but if you're new to the game, make sure to enable game tips. I've actually found it very helpful when I'm playing The Sims 1 because it has been probably 20 years since I've played The Sims 1. Sims 2, I've played on and off, so I'm going to keep these off, but if you need them, make sure you put them on. All right, let's back out a little bit. So this is our lot. As you can see, it's nice and big. Make sure you just save often. These games do tend to be a little bit unstable, so just, make sure you're doing that. So a couple things you want to do at the beginning. You obviously need to build a house. You need to get your sim a job, which also every sim, along with having their main aspiration that you just chose, is going to have a lifetime want. Accomplishing those lifetime wants is going to give you bonuses later. It actually makes your sim platinum all the time. Now, platinum sims, you'll see they have a bright white plumb bomb over their head, and that means they're just happy all the time. There's nothing that's going to hinder them with getting any job performance-based promotions. They are going to be totally fine because they're just going to always be happy. You still have to meet their needs, but it's going to be a lot easier to take care of them because they can use some of the bonuses that sims that aren't platinum can't use. So something to keep in mind. It's usually a good thing to do a lifetime want. So let's see what hers is. You can just hover over this. So hers is earn 100,000 simoleons. So basically this one is not related to going to the top of a job. A lot of the wealth aspiration sims do have like, I want to be the top doctor, or I want to be the president of the world, or something like that. This one is just money based. So I just have to make sure she earns 100K simoleons before she dies. That's my goal. So we'll get her a job once the newspaper gets here. You can get, I believe, 3 jobs in the newspaper and 5 jobs on a computer. So that's something to also keep in mind. If you're starting with 4,800 simoleons, you're probably not going to be able to afford a computer. Also keep in mind that this game, the re-release, comes with seasons already installed. So having your sim live outside may not be the best option. So you are going to probably want to have a roof over their head, or they're just going to be miserable and possibly electrocuted by lightning. So we don't want to do that. So what we're going to do is we are going to start with a house. I'm not going to start with a foundation. I typically don't like foundations in The Sims 2. So I'm going to keep it. I just realized this lot is extremely hilly, which is going to be kind of an issue. So why don't I'm trying to remember how to flatten the lot. Wait, it's here. Yeah. Flatten the lot. It's going to probably cost me some money though. Insufficient funds. Oh no. Okay, so we're going to have to do that later when she can afford it. This area of the lot is nice and flat, so we're probably going to start off with our house here. This is another thing to keep in mind. In this game, you can't flatten the lot for free. And some of these areas have some pretty hilly areas and you can't really build on them. So just keep that in mind. You're going to have to be a little bit creative with how you build your house in the beginning. But we will try and build like in this corner here. It doesn't need to be a very big house. I just need her to have 4 walls and a roof just so that she survives in any inclement weather. So we're going to just do that. Put up a door, get, the cheapest door possible. It's okay if you don't have windows right now. And then just get a roof. I forgot how to do roofs in this game. All right. Isn't this auto roof? Wait. Oh, there they are. Okay. Oh my Lord. It's been a while, y'all. I'm sorry. Okay. So we've got our little shack and we are going to give her a bed. Now the bed, if you've watched any of Pinstar's videos, Pinstar is the creator of the Legacy Challenge. He's also my husband. I will link his video below as well. He just did one. One of the things he always says is you want to splurge on the bed because the higher the quality of the bed, the more energy and comfort it gives. And that is super important early on. So you want to get the best bang for your buck. And doing that, let's see what we can afford. I think technically we can afford this one, but that's only going to leave us with 60 simoleons left. 8 and 8 with an environment of 6. Environment scores are important as well because they do help your Sims stay happier, especially when they are going to work. This was a lot more difficult in The Sims 1, but it is still a thing. And I'm wondering if I want to just splurge on this. Can she? I'm thinking in terms of Sims 4 right now, where you can go out to different places and get food. It's a little harder to do in The Sims 2. So maybe I shouldn't splurge quite so hard and maybe give myself... So this is 6 and 6. This might be okay to start. Is this one 6 and 6? Oh, pay attention because these are the exact same bonuses but this one is 150 simoleons cheaper. So keep that. Oh, wait, that one's even cheaper with the exact same bonuses. This one has a slightly lower environment score, but still, honestly, I'm a little less concerned about the environment score right now. So why don't we go with this one? So we still have 11 something simoleons left to spend. Let's do that one. Just keep in mind, like, it's worth it to splurge, but you also want to just make sure you have enough money for other things because you're gonna need it early on. Let's see. It doesn't matter what you design any of these. Okay, so we got our bed. Let's get, ooh, can I get a fridge? I can. And actually, the other great thing, this fridge here, the mini fridge, doubles as a counter. So instead of spending money on a counter right now, you can prep all of your food on the top of this. Highly recommend doing that at the start of the game because you are not going to want to spend extra money on something that you don't necessarily need right now. And I would say a counter is pretty optional. Now, the one problem with the mini fridge is that there are certain things that I don't think you can make in it, but they're good for like snacks. And if you want, I think you can make a salad in it. They're also good for just like getting protein shakes, which, you know, anything at this point is fine. You want to obviously get yourself a toilet. Can I change the color? Because that green is just, yes. Okay, there we go. Stop doing that. Okay. I think I can also afford a shower. Yeah, just barely. I'm trying to think. Is a shower better or a sink? No, probably the shower. And then depending on what job she gets, I might have to consider some skill up stuff. This is pretty much what you're going to have for the moment. I'm going to see if there's anything else I can grab. Probably not, just because this is like super early in the game. All right, so this is what we've got. We've got our house. We've got our sim. Now, I don't have money for a computer, so she is going to have to get her job from the newspaper. Now, there is a mini challenge in the Legacy Challenge called Pure Entrepreneur, and that is if you want to just make money on your own, like owning your own business or like painting or things like that. That one requires you not getting an actual job outside of the house. That is a viable option. I've done it before. I'm not going to do it with this one. It's especially difficult early on, but you can do it if you want to just sell paintings and things before you can own your own business. You can do it that way. I'm just going to go with the standard getting a job thing right now. And right now we're just waiting for the newspaper to come so I can see what the jobs are that are available. Now, when you start with the extreme start, which I discussed in my other video, you cannot have your sim get married until the first week of the game. So it would have to be the next Monday that she can get married. It's different in this version of the challenge. You can do this anytime. So it usually is in your benefit to make sure that your sims get married pretty early on so that they can have somebody bringing in some more money. But that's up to you. If you want to keep things more difficult, you can always do that. Okay, here comes the newspaper person. Also, you can talk to them. It doesn't hurt to have extra friends. The more friends you have, the better. But we don't want to keep them here for too long. All right, so let's find a job because this is the most important thing if you're not doing Pure Entrepreneur. Okay, so we've got medicine. Medicine pays really well early on, so that one is definitely a consideration. And there should be two more. Business pays a little less, but I do think that the hours are better for business. And then we've got politics. Politics actually pays the most. However, I'm not sure that that one's the best one for her because if I remember correctly, she is not super outgoing and you need a lot of charisma for that. Yeah, she's not very outgoing. So why don't we go with the business career? I think there is some charisma for that one as well, but not as much as politics. Oh, I forgot about this guy, Mr. Humble. Oh my goodness, that's right. He gives us a free computer. I forgot. Mr. Humble's great. I don't have money for a desk right now. But if you want to save up for a desk, make sure you do that. I'm just going to make my life more difficult and do it this way. But you can totally buy a desk early on if you want so that you can use that computer to get a job and you have two extra job options before the end of the day. Let's actually recycle this right now so I don't forget. All right, so that pretty much wraps up how to start a basic Legacy Challenge with the non-extreme start. You can use this one. There are two versions of the Legacy Challenge for The Sims 2 actually 3 if you count extreme. But there are two main versions of the rules on our website. There is the core rules, and then there's also advanced. Core is if you just want to do the basic get to 10 generations starting with nothing kind of a thing. There's no extra points added. It is just that. So this start will work for that one, but it will also work for the advanced rules, which is where you get the mini challenges to add extra points. And there's also different categories to earn more points in. It just depends on which one you want to go with. I'm most likely going to go with the advanced option while I play through this family as a let's play and just do a couple of the mini challenges. I don't plan on doing too many of them, but we will see how it goes. I think you can have up to 10 mini challenge points, but you don't have to have that many. It's up to you. So I think that covers everything. If you have any questions, please be sure to leave me a comment. I will try to answer them as soon as I can. And if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to leave me a like and subscribe. And I will see you soon with this Let's Play series. Bye.